We've all been there. Everyone has experienced a low at some point, but we often don't talk about it. However, new Apple TV Plus series Shrinking tackles this topic head-on, covering some real human struggles while mixing in lighthearted moments along the way. Some critics are even calling this the best TV show of 2023 so far. So let's talk about it. In this video we are going to dive into what we have seen in the premiere of the show and what we know, as we break down 4 key questions around the show so far. Starting with number 1. What is Shrinking about? Shrinking is a comedy drama series that follows a group of practicing therapists, aka shrinks, and their life outside of work.
He just kept on going on and on about how dumb I am, but he loves me.
Your husband is emotionally abusive. He's not working on it. He doesn't intend to. Just leave him.
Okay.
In a time of increasing awareness surrounding mental health, the show dives into the concept of hidden struggles, as it centers around each of the 3 main characters dealing with their own challenges. Jimmy is stuck in a rut, grieving the death of his wife. Jessica grapples with her struggling marriage, and we see hints that Paul is trying to overcome the challenges of Parkinson's. In Jimmy's case, his outside struggles begin to interfere with his ability to support his clients. As Jimmy begins to recognize that the way he is living life is unsustainable, he moves toward taking a new approach, both with his life and with his clients, which doesn't exactly follow all of the therapy rules. However, that approach opens up doors to new challenges that Jimmy will have to face. One of the quotes we hear in the show is, "Nobody gets through life unscathed." And that quote serves as one of the running themes behind the show as we watch. With a picture of what the story is about, let's move on to our next question. Number 2, who do we see in Shrinking? Shrinking features a star-heavy cast that makes the show worth watching on its own. The first face you will recognize is Jason Segel, the lovable best friend character from so many shows. Best known for his roles in How I Met Your Mother, I Love You Man, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Segel plays the main role of Jimmy Laird in the series. In the other lead role is no stranger to comedy, Jessica Williams, who has starred in the film Love Life, HBO's Two Dope Queens, and served as a correspondent on The Daily Show. Williams plays Gabby, another therapist in Jimmy's practice and also Jimmy's best friend. The show even includes the legendary Harrison Ford, known of course for his iconic roles in Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Ford plays the head of the practice, Dr. Paul Rhodes, fitting in the cranky old man role. Despite their different film and movie backgrounds, it is refreshing to see the actors work really well together, demonstrating impressive chemistry and providing a lot of depth to each character. Other actors in the film, like Michael Urie and Lukita Maxwell, also provide impressive performances, playing Sean and Alice. Meanwhile, running the show is Bill Lawrence and Brett Goldstein, the duo responsible for writing TV hit Ted Lasso. So if you enjoyed Ted Lasso, then this alone might be reason enough to watch Shrinking. So with the background out of the way, let's take a deeper look. Turning to our next question. Number 3, what happened in the premiere of Shrinking? The premiere of Shrinking featured the release of 2 episodes on Apple TV Plus on January 27th. In the first 2 episodes, we are introduced to our main characters and gain a picture of Jimmy's interactions with his clients balanced by his lifestyle.
Every time I get rid of one compulsion, another compulsion comes up.
Are you yawning right now?
Spoiler alert, I feel like I'm stuck.
Right. How does that make you feel?
The show opens up with Jimmy's neighbor finding him in his backyard partying and popping painkillers. As we move forward, we learn more about Jimmy and his current mental and emotional state while watching him listen to the emotional struggles of his clients as well. Jimmy admits that he is dealing with compassion fatigue, which means that he is tired from having to listen to his patients' struggles. We see Jimmy blur the lines of therapy's guiding principles. He vents to Paul about his patients' repeat habits and his frustrations with their decisions. And it is at this point that we see Jimmy flip a switch, deciding to be straightforward with his patients and provide his personal advice, instead of guiding them into their own decisions like a therapist should, and against the advice of his colleagues, Gabby and Paul. For example, he tells his client Grace straight up that she should leave her husband, and even befriends his client Sean, urging him to join an MMA gym and getting more involved than he should. Although both of his patients seem better off initially, some problems start to arise. Specifically when Grace's husband shows up to Jimmy's daughter's soccer game and confronts Jimmy for telling his wife to leave him, punching Jimmy in the face. Sean, who joined Jimmy at the game, jumps in to put a stop to the attack, leading to a brawl between the two. This fight ends up with Sean and Grace's husband getting arrested, which is the final straw for Sean's family, causing the young man to end up homeless at the end of episode 2. Diving deeper into Jimmy's personal life, we learn that he has not done well in supporting those close to him. In the year after his wife died, he largely ignored his daughter Alice, even though she was also grieving. As a result, Alice has a much stronger relationship with their neighbor Liz, who knows much more about her than her own father. Jimmy starts to become a better father, but Alice points out that doing little things like laundry is not enough to make up for the emotional neglect he showed her. We also see the rekindling of the relationship between Jimmy and his best friend Brian, another one that was left to the wayside during his grieving process, when Jimmy needs to find a lawyer for Sean. Relationships ultimately play a strong role, as we see the father-son-like dynamics of Paul and Jimmy, as well as the friendship between Gabby and Jimmy offering some lighthearted moments. Altogether, there was a lot to unpack in the premiere episodes, and we have a lot of thoughts about it. Before we share them, let's tackle our last question. Number 4, what do we have to look forward to? Shrinking is set for a total of 10 episodes. The next 8 episodes will be released one by one on Apple TV+, every Friday until March 24th. So we have plenty to look forward to from the series as we follow along on Jimmy's journey for fulfillment and his goal to move forward from his grief. We are also interested to see how Jimmy's approach will work for his clients, and whether or not he will face more consequences for his newfound strategy. We look forward to seeing how Jimmy's attempt to rebuild his relationship with Alice will work out, and whether Liz will be a strong factor. Jimmy's friendship with Brian will also be one to watch, as we wonder if Jimmy will work on his ability to be a good friend in that relationship as well. So that's everything you need to know about the new series Shrinking. So let's unpack our thoughts on the series so far. Our final thoughts. So far, Shrinking is a refreshing watch. The cast of Shrinking, especially Harrison Ford, help us fall in love with the show, but the story does not fall flat either. The show covers some difficult and humanizing topics that grasp our emotions and force us to think deeper about what we are all going through on a daily basis. At the same time, the show is complete with excellent comedy writing and great delivery by the characters. It's this balance that makes the show an entertaining and enjoyable one to watch. Plus, for a series with only half-hour episodes, we think it's more than a great way to spend your time. What about you? What are your thoughts on Shrinking so far? Do you think it does a good job of discussing mental health issues? Let us know all your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe so you can keep up with the best updates and insights surrounding all of the hottest TV shows and movies as soon as they are released. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.